The crackdown on guns continues.
Violence is a public health crisis in our country.
We're walking through the widest-ranging gun bill since the Sandy Hook tragedy.
And train troubles cropping up on the New Haven line. The state's budget battle spilling over to the rails, causing chaos for Connecticut commuters. We're unpacking what could change.
Will this year's hurricane season be busy or quiet? The new outlook issued today.
A statewide initiative starts today. Troopers are targeting dangerous drivers, all to keep you safe this holiday weekend.
Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin tonight in Waterbury, where a shooting has left one man dead. Good evening. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. Thank you so much for joining us. This shooting happening in a residential neighborhood in the city's East End. Fox 61's Brent Harden is in the Breaking News Center tonight. He joins us now with everything that we know so far. Brent, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Jen and Ben, details remain limited right now. We are able to confirm, though, that this shooting happened near the area of 234 Circular Avenue. Let's take a live look at that scene right now. Waterbury police say they received a shots fired call at 7:20 p.m. and when they arrived, they found a 26-year-old man suffering from a gunshot wound. That man was transported to a hospital where he later died. Police have not released the victim's name at this point, and we have no information on a possible suspect in the shooting either right now. Stay tuned to Connecticut's news station. We'll bring you any updates live on air and on the news at 11. For now, I'm Brent Harden here in the Breaking News Center. Jen and Ben, back to you.
All right, Brent, thank you. Moving on tonight, a step forward for the most wide-ranging gun control bill in a decade here in Connecticut.
The Connecticut House of Representatives has passed the bill, which was first proposed by Governor Ned Lamont. It now heads to the Senate.
Fox 61's Gabby Molina joining us live at the state capitol tonight with the details. Gabby, what can you tell us?
Well, Ben and Jen, this bill covers several different gun safety measures, and while it did pass with bipartisan support today, there was still a 3-hour-long debate.
The bill as amended passes.
Gun safety taking center stage at the state capitol on Thursday. The House of Representatives passing a wide-ranging bill, 96 to 51.
Look, this is the most comprehensive gun legislation the state of Connecticut has passed in 10 years.
The bill has several measures aimed at reducing gun violence, including limiting the amount of handguns that can be purchased in a month to 3, updating the state's ghost gun ban to include those assembled prior to 2019, and expanding the safe storage law, something advocates say is one of the most critical parts of the bill.
That not only will keep guns out of the hands of people that shouldn't have it, children, dangerous people, but also it's a way to reduce theft of guns.
The bill also increases the bail for repeat firearm offenders and bans open carry. Opponents of the legislation say the ban is an example of why they believe this effort is misdirected.
So why that was a prominent piece of this legislation and such a priority just indicates that the governor's office and this agenda is completely out of touch with the problems that Connecticut residents actually have.
House Minority Leader Vincent Candelora was among those who voted against the bill.
You know, the bill really misses the mark. You know, each year we continue to regulate gun ownership and we don't address the crimes that are occurring and the lack of enforcement.
The bill also increases the penalty for not reporting a stolen firearm, creates a dedicated gun docket in the courts of some cities, and expands the assault weapons ban.
I don't see this as a restriction on legal gun ownership. Certainly, there are additional requirements with respect to registration if someone has one of these assault weapons.
From here, this bill heads to the Senate for a vote. Coming up on the news at 11, I'll tell you how the mayors of some Connecticut cities came together to call for a provision in this bill. Live in Hartford, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Gabby, thank you. Let's move along here to the weather watch here. We are just one day away from getting to this extended holiday weekend.
And it is so nice. You're going to like the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us with a first check of it now.
I cannot remember the last time we had such a nice Memorial Day weekend forecast. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the weather cooperating with all of your outdoor plans. Taking a look, it is turning cooler out there tonight. No frost advisory for us here in Connecticut. We are not expecting it to get cold enough. But just to give you an idea of how chilly it is, I wanted to show you that for some of our neighbors to the north, there are frost advisories in effect, even as close by as Massachusetts. Right now, we're looking at temperatures that are in the low 50s for Windham, upper 50s in Meriden, and right around the 50-degree mark in Waterbury. As we head towards daybreak, we'll see temperatures dropping into the low to mid 40s. Some of our cooler spots might be able to dip back into the upper 30s as we head towards daybreak, but that would be the exception, not the rule. Otherwise, we are looking at bright sunshine just like we had out there today, but we're going to get rid of those winds, which were really feisty today. Tomorrow, the wind is not as strong. Low 70s in Wallingford, low 70s for a high temperature in Brantford. We'll also be close to 70 degrees in Mystic and Stonington, low 70s in Mansfield, and middle 70s for the Hartford area. The temperature will slowly continue to ramp up as we head through the coming days. We'll show you your full weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, new at 10 tonight, a Norwich man pleading guilty to tax fraud and other offenses stemming from a scheme that victimized women through social media accounts. 36-year-old Dexter Enram is accused of contacting people through Instagram and Facebook between 2019 and 2021, befriending them and then asking them to send him money. Enram and multiple co-conspirators allegedly made off with over $450,000 from this. And he's accused of wiring $220,000 of those dollars to bank accounts overseas. As part of his plea, he's agreed to pay restitution to the victims. To Naugatuck tonight, where crews say one woman was treated for smoke inhalation after a fire inside of an apartment complex. Crews were called to the Southwood Apartments on Rubber Avenue for a report of a kitchen fire. The fire was put out quickly, and officials say the flames were contained to just one of the apartments. The fire marshal is still investigating the cause of the fire.
A 22-year-old Connecticut woman is hospitalized in serious condition tonight after a shark attack in the waters off of Turks and Caicos yesterday. That's according to the Royal Turks and Caicos Island Police Force's Facebook page. They did not release the young woman's name, but she's being treated at the Cheshire Hall Medical Center there. Officials say she and a friend were snorkeling in the waters off of Providenciales about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon when the attack happened. Police say an employee of a nearby resort called requesting assistance, saying that the victim, quote, had her leg bitten off. But we have no other information on that right now. We'll pass along any new information as soon as we get it. Well, Cheshire police are searching for a man who escaped custody. Police say Michael Zamidi escaped from Mid-State Medical Center in Meriden yesterday and is still at large. He is facing charges for allegedly stealing a car and has an outstanding warrant out of Meriden. Police say Zamidi has several tattoos, and anyone who has any information about his whereabouts should call Cheshire Police.
Also new at 10 tonight, the state budget receiving a lot of attention as lawmakers and Governor Ned Lamont negotiate in order to pass the budget before the June 7th deadline. Cuts proposed to that budget could impact commuters using the MTA's New Haven line running all the way into New York City. Fox 61's Jake Garcia joining us live in New Haven at Union Station tonight with details on the proposed cuts and how those cuts could potentially impact commuters. Jake.
Well, Ben, Connecticut is known for being a commuter state, right? But a large number of those commuters commute by train. So proposed budget cuts throughout the state could reduce the number of trains running from New Haven all the way to New York City. Over 6 million people have used the New Haven line in the first 3 months of this year alone. And for commuters frequenting the New Haven line between New Haven and New York City, they might have fewer options to catch a train to the Big Apple and stops in Connecticut along the way. The state of Connecticut pays Metro North to provide rail service on the New Haven line, but the governor's proposed budget would cut $38 million from the previous budget, according to Bloomberg News.
And the question is the extent to which their budget will support Metro North at the service levels that we're currently providing.
The exact number of trains throughout the week to be cut remains unknown, but Governor Ned Lamont believes the reduction in service could occur first on days with less demand.
People taking Metro North Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are almost at pre-COVID levels. Friday, the trains are almost empty. Thank God it's Friday, has a whole new meaning now. So I think if you see some cutback, it may be on Friday.
Leaders of the Metropolitan Transit Authority in New York say it could even impact peak travel times.
If those Connecticut budget cuts that are being discussed in Hartford do go through, there would be consequences to how much service is run, at least in the Connecticut portions of the New Haven line. And it would be felt in the peak as well as throughout the day.
The Connecticut Department of Transportation released a statement saying in part, quote, Connecticut DOT is working in consultation with MTA Metro North to analyze current ridership patterns and possible schedule adjustments to reflect available funding. Now, the state's budget could be approved as soon as next week. The deadline for the state budget to be approved is June 7th. Now, if these budget cuts are approved, the Department of Transportation will hold public meetings over the summer once possible schedule changes have been proposed. Live in New Haven, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you very much. Well, also new at 10 tonight, Hartford Public Schools are celebrating educators who went above and beyond this academic year. They held their annual Teacher of the Year event tonight after narrowing down a field of 38 individual candidates. The committee that picks the Teacher of the Year says it's no easy task and it takes a lot to pull the entire event off without a hitch.
Every school has a nominee, and then, they go down to 10 and they go down to 3, and then here we are today to have our Teacher of the Year.
This year's winner, English teacher Melanie Zamorsky from the Sport and Medical Sciences Academy. In her speech, she thanked the other teachers who were nominated, as well as her students for helping her reach this honor. Congratulations to her.